Chile's the fate of our nation right now.
7 meters 30.
Well, it's taken a lot of people to get to this point, a lot of generations.
Hey, Sophie, how's it going?
Hi, Tess. It's going good. Sunshine here. Where I'm at. Where are you?
It's actually a little cloudy, but somehow hot still, so not great. I think I'm the one Spaniard that doesn't like the sun or the heat.
That's true. I remember us always hanging out, and then every time the sun came out, I was so excited, and you were like, oh no, oh no. Let's look for shade, please. I was like, that's not very Spanish of you, is it?
So you are bringing us quite the character on this episode. I was listening to the interview, and first of all, she was so sweet, but can you tell us a bit more about who this person is and why you wanted to interview her?
For sure. So today's topic is freestyle football. And I'm sure you and all of us have seen clips online of people just like doing crazy tricks with the ball. But there's obviously like this whole system behind it in a way that there are certain tricks you can do. And then there's a freestyle community. And I stumbled upon Jasmijn, which is her name, back in Amsterdam when I was doing my stint there. I was attending a game of the Professional Independent Football Club that we also had an episode about. And she was just like doing a show, doing a break. And I saw her doing crazy tricks and stunts with the ball, and I kind of forgot about it, but then like randomly on Instagram she ended up on my feed again. I was like, wait a minute, I know her from that Hera match, and I reached out to her and just checked out her page, and then kind of discovered that she is like super amazing and good at what she does. She's like an 8-time Dutch champion. She's also a world champion, and she's been a finalist in a couple of world champion finals before. So she's really good at what she does. And so I was kind of just intrigued to know, okay, how do you end up in freestyle football? Like, what does it take to become good at this? And I don't know, just like tell me, give me some insight into the freestyle community, because I knew nothing about it, but I was so intrigued.
Oh, I mean, I saw a couple of clips of her, and they were amazing. I remember when I was a kid, I always try, and I was always, I mean, you know how clumsy I am. There was no way I could dribble the ball for like more than twice or something. But it was something I would try. So full respect, because the tricks that she was doing were out of this world, honestly.
She's
Apparently,
really,
yeah, go.
yeah, no, I was
Go.
just going to say she's so low key with everything. I mean, you talk to her, and I think one thing that's really cool about the freestyle community is that everyone is really welcoming. Like, doesn't matter what level you're at, and you can just like reach out, or that's like how she told me. Reach out to other people who are better than you and just like, hey, let's just train together and like, let's learn from each other, and maybe you can show me some tricks. And I think that's really, really cool. So you don't have to be really good at all to start out, but everything is like very welcoming and open.
And she, so she's from the Netherlands, so obviously she started her career there. But the Netherlands is actually quite good when it comes to freestyle football, isn't it?
I was as surprised as you are, because I feel like the Netherlands is such an interesting country because they are so good at certain sports. And I know this has been a subject of coverage and research as well, because they do, focus, and I do also think tailor funding to specific sports that I think they're good at. Like if you look at track and field, obviously you have some amazing sprinters or middle distance runners like Femke Bol, just to name one of them. But I also asked her, like, how come the Netherlands is so good at such a tiny country? And she doesn't know either. She just said, I mean, it's very small, and at the same time you have a lot of opportunities, so maybe that helps. And you just get around a lot and can connect yourself with other people who are also doing freestyle. Maybe that's like one factor at least playing into it.
Because I mean, freestyle is not in the Olympics. It's not in like these like massive tournaments. I mean, there are specific tournaments for it. Did you get into how do you finance a career in that? Is it mostly the individual shows?
That's a very good and interesting question. I think a lot of people do it on the side because I think it's hard with any kind of thing that's not like a very. I mean, even in professional sports, it's very hard to make a living, right? And then you have something like freestyle football, which, like as you mentioned, isn't like an Olympic sport or something that's like recognized on a specific level in that sense. But that's also what I thought was very cool because she is actually making a living from doing freestyle football at the moment. She's still studying, or I think just finished her studies. And as you mentioned, she's also doing shows and workshops. So she is performing at events like Formula One, for instance, when she does like a short presentation of some tricks, etc. But she also like does workshops or parties when like a company invites her over. And I think, I mean, that seems to be working out really nicely for her because she can like finance herself doing what she loves and then train at home and then compete at competitions.
I think it is one of those sports that, I mean, all sports to some extent are a form of entertainment for others to watch, but it sounds like freestyle football, it goes a bit more into that entertainment factor for the audience.
I would agree. I mean, I myself have never been to like a freestyle football show, so I'm very curious to see what that would be like. But one thing, at least, that she kept stressing is that what makes the sport so special is that there are no rules. So you just kind of show up and you do your tricks, you do like your choreo, and but there's like no one who's gonna tell you, okay, this is not how you're supposed to do it. And I think that's also charm and part of what makes this so special and also different to other sports. And I think entertainment, of course, plays a big part in this. I don't know, like entertaining the crowd is making everyone get excited about what you're doing, kind of feeling it, getting a feel for the crowd and the people around you. Yeah, I think it's nice. It's great. And everyone kind of can participate as well, right? So you only need a ball and you can just start out.
And if you had to have one takeaway from the interview of something that you learn, what would it be?
I guess I got the sense of how welcoming this community is. And I guess, that is just from what she has been telling me, right? But I got the sense that it's a very positive, empowering community of guys and girls just getting together, juggling a ball, and doing tons of other crazy tricks like handstands and whatever. And just sharing a love for what they're doing. And it felt very easy in a sense. And I know there must be like so much sweat and training, going into these tricks and like you being able to pull off this one trick or, I don't know, juggle the ball 100 times more. I don't know. But I got the sense from her that it's a very nice community that's very low key and that you can also reach out to, so very accessible. And I think that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think especially the part about not having, having some rules, but not really a lot of very strict rules when it came to scoring or that does give it that flexibility to be creative with the tricks.
And I guess
think
it's
that
super, and it's super inclusive, right? As we said, you only need a ball and you can start out, right? It doesn't matter where you are, where you live. You can like look up a free tutorial at home and just get started. And I think especially with the commercialization of sports, I mean, if you look at these running clubs and all these crazy expensive running shoes, sometimes I feel like it can feel like, wow, sports, like even something that is outdoors, can be very expensive and not very accessible. But I do get the sense that with freestyle football, it is quite inclusive and accessible.
I think I like your point because I think one of the biggest lies of running is that it's like a really low budget sport.
Well, try triathlon, and then
Yeah, fair enough.
then we can talk.
Oh, those bikes.
I keep having the discussion with runners, and they're like, I mean, we're so accessible, but then triathlon with these crazy bikes, like, it's not even fun anymore. And I get their point for sure. But I think, like, yeah, once you start comparing different sports, and you're like, okay, and then we need nutrition, and then, like, how many gels do you need?
And then there's Formula One. You just need a 5 million car, you know? Yes.
I feel like this is like how you can end any argument. And then there's Formula One.
All right. Well, let's get to the interview. I can't wait to listen to it.
Me too. It was such a pleasure, and I hope you all enjoy it. Today we're talking to Jasmijn Janssen, a freestyle footballer from the Netherlands, an 8-time Dutch champion and also 2025 world champion. How does one end up in freestyle football? I want to know. And what tips can you give us if we want to start out? Thanks so much for joining us today, Jasmijn.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
So, first of all, to get us started, for anyone who hasn't heard about freestyle football, what is this all about?
Freestyle football is an individual sport where you just juggle the ball. You can do tricks with your feet, sitting on the ground with your head. You can do acrobatics. There are basically no rules. And when you do a competition, the one with the best trick wins.
Cool. And I kind of read up a bit about you before this interview on your website, for instance, and I saw that you actually started out as a footballer, as a football player when you were a child. Tell me a bit about to freestyle football.
I started football when I was 5 and until the age of like 15, 16. I played at the local club in my neighborhood and my last 2 years at FC Twente, a professional academy. And I always been a defender, but I love doing tricks on the field. And when they scouted me for FC Twente, they wanted to put me in defense, but I wanted to be a striker. And I always had that dream to be a striker and show the coolest tricks, score goals. But they didn't, and I kind of lost my motivation. Like those 2 years, it was a really nice experience and really valuable for me too. But after 2 years, I felt like it wasn't like years ago. I kind of lost my passion. And I was always juggling before the game, during training, and doing like little tricks. And when I quit, by accident, I found out about freestyle football. I saw on Facebook an advertisement from someone who was doing a workshop. And I decided just to go without any expectations. And from that moment, I fell in love with the sport. And I ended up in a really nice community with lots of other guys at that moment. And we just started training together.
That's so cool. One thing I'm wondering about, because I just spent some time in the Netherlands, but then I was also kind of reading up on freestyle football, and there seems to be quite a big community in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it is. The Netherlands is actually, I would say, maybe the best country at this moment in freestyle football. There is like a female world champion and a male world champion, and also like the younger guys who are coming up are really really good, and they have a really good position in the world championships and the tournaments. So yeah, they're doing really well.
Why do you think that is? I mean, if you think traditionally about football, of course, the Dutch are good, but I mean, maybe not as widespread as other countries. Is there any particular reason you think?
I have no idea. I think that the Netherlands is really small, so we have a lot of opportunities to train together, and that really helps, like motivating each other, training together to keep on pushing your level. And um, even after 11 years, I still love the sport so much, not just because of the sport, but also the whole community and everything around it. So maybe that's why.
So you saw something on Facebook, you said, and then you kind of started out. But how does one start out with freestyle football? Do you watch videos? Like, how do you train? How do you start?
I started, well, basically by myself in my parents' backyard. And when I went to the workshop, we just stayed in touch over WhatsApp and we shared our videos. So that was for me yeah, the start, the way I started freestyle, and I learned really quickly. But also I watch videos and tutorials at the beginning to yeah to get some ideas because there are so many tricks and sometimes you just don't know where to start, so you find something online.
Well, I'm not gonna try to be cool and pretend like I know any tricks or words or slang, but can you give us a basic introduction of what are the main tricks or what are kind of like the basics you would have to know to start out?
You have different categories. So uppers is tricks you do with your head. You have lowers, tricks you do while juggling or while standing, and sit downs, tricks you do while sitting down. And in between that, there's a lot of in between, but I call it acrobatics.
And is there anything that you like the best, or what do you think is your strength and things
I'm
that you
a
like?
really all around freestyler, so I do a lot of everything. So tricks with the headstand, sitting down. There's not something specific. Well, lower. So the standing tricks is the most difficult for me, but I love doing the tricks with the head and tricks in a handstand, so the acrobatics. And I think that's where I stand out the most.
So cool. And then you also mentioned the freestyle community, and also you
Mhm.
briefly implied, as I would imagine, it's, I guess, a male dominated field. Is there, what's the community like, and what's it like? I mean, just being a woman in this field.
Honestly, like everyone is being so welcoming and so nice and so supportive. I always feel really comfortable among the guys. Um, it's just normal to join a circle and train together. It's not really about level. It's more about the vibes during the training. So yeah, as a female joining the scene, I think the freestyle community is really nice and welcoming compared to football because it's a little different there.
Could you ever imagine going back to playing only football?
No way. No. Like when I discovered freestyle, I didn't miss football at all. Like I was so focused on freestyle. I fell so in love with freestyle. And I expected to miss football, but it never happened. So I played futsal, so indoor soccer or indoor football. But that was like really low level, more for fun. We didn't train. Um, just so I could do my tricks. But I don't see myself like on the field again.
And it, I guess, also what's different, but maybe you can tell me more about it. When you play football, obviously you're part of a team, but when you're doing freestyle, it's mostly you and yourself and the ball. Or do you still think that there's kind of a team component to it?
During battles, so during a competition, it's just individual because you just want to destroy your opponent and you just want to win and you need to be focused. So then it's really individual, but the whole like literally like after the 3 minute battle, it feels like a massive team and is it doesn't feel like an individual sport because everyone is just like friends with each other.
And I want to talk to you about becoming the world champion, which is huge. And you're the 8-time Dutch champion. So it says on your Instagram handle. So first of all, massive congratulations for being so good at what you're doing. How can I envision those competitions? So what's it like? What does a competition look like? Who organizes it? And how do you qualify?
I won the Super Bowl Girls Open Championships. So there are during a year there are two world championships. You have the Super Bowl, which is open for everyone. Even you can compete if you want to. And there is another world championships, and then you have to qualify by going to the European Championships and to get into the top five of that. So I've been to multiple tournaments, and two times I ended second place, and one time was at Super Bowl, and the other time was at the other World Championships. So if you just started freestyle and you just want to experience the whole tournament vibe, you can just join Super Bowl and do one of your first battles. That's how I started. And if you want to find it a little bigger up and higher up, then you can go to the European Championships. And if you're into the top five, you qualify for the other World Finals.
And is there like an association that you're part of in the Netherlands, or can you just join without being part of any sort of team?
You can just join without being part of anything. You have the World Freestyle Football Association, which is the federation who organizes the tournaments. And in the Netherlands, we have the Dutch community, basically, Freestyle Football Netherlands. Um, and basically, if you start at freestyle, you automatically join the Freestyle Football Netherlands. So you don't have to sign up or be part of our team or a federation.
And I think I've read in some article that you came second a couple of times before, and then you finally made it and became the champion. What do you think changed? What happened?
Honestly, like I last year I joined the world finals without any expectations. I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing. I felt really good and I had a lot of new tricks and my difficulty level is really high. So I just wanted to show every single trick I trained for. Sometimes I think too much and then I just take it easier, but then it's not enough to win the final. And this time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try everything and hopefully it works out like in training. And basically everything worked out this time. And I'm so glad it all worked. And yeah, I also felt really chill. I'm really confident because I didn't really put pressure on my shoulders, which was a really nice feeling. So yeah,
And what motivates you now to keep going now that you've kind of gotten that world champion title?
it's just really fun. Um, I don't have like certain goals on becoming back to back world champion, for example. I just want to improve my level, keep getting better, innovate, create new combinations. And when I go to training, I feel like, hey, this is something new. And that's just like a spark inside you. Or, yeah, it just makes me really happy to freestyle and find out new combinations and new tricks. So it goes automatically, like, yeah, without having a big certain goal.
And when you talk about training, how can I think about your training? So, what does like a normal day look like for you? And do you have a coach? Do you train yourself? How does it work?
When I was younger, so when I was like 16, 17, 18, I trained like 6 days a week, 2, 3 hours a day. Right now, I'm also really busy with like shows and workshops, but I train about 4 days a week, 2 to 3 hours. Because I feel like my body needs some rest as well. But there are no rules, which is nice. So there's no coach, nobody decides like, hey, you have to train now. No, I can just plan my own day.
I find that very impressive because if you want to improve, I mean, it's all on your own shoulders, right? So there's like kind of no one to help you in a way. Uh, how do you do that?
Yeah, there's just a lot of um dedication you need to train and do this because that's why there are not a lot of people who do this sport and who are at a really high level because it takes a lot of time, a lot of years to reach like a high level. Um but yeah, I don't know. It's just the whole freestyle world is just so nice and it really motivates me. And the fact that there are no rules and that there is no one who put pressure on me, that's why I love training and why I love doing freestyle. So I think if there is a lot of pressure, some people or some athletes get really depressed or um, really need like a break. But I never had that. So yeah.
I saw you for the first time at one of the matches of Hera United, which is an independent professional women's club in the Netherlands. And as you mentioned just now, you do different shows, I guess, in the Netherlands or also outside. Is this how you now are able to also earn money and make a living out of it?
Yeah, yeah. Right now, for the past 2, 3 years, I do a lot of shows and workshops, collaborations. So right now, I make a living of freestyle, which is amazing. I just finished my studies, and after that, in 2020, I decided I just want to go for freestyle because now I'm young. This is the time of my life to take a chance and let's see what it brings. But it turned out really nice, so I'm so glad it all works.
And give us a bit of a sense of what are these shows like? Do you have like any particular show that you love to do with someone who has never done freestyle?
I just love working for like big companies and big brands. Um, I did the opening for the Formula One in Austria, which is like one of the biggest events in the world. Together with Red Bull, I did a opening last year for a big tennis tour in front of 10,000 people. Uh, I I never expected that I was able to do shows like this and work for brands and companies like this. Usually, when I do a show, I have a certain routine that I do, and usually it's about 3 minutes. Can be a bit more or a bit less, and I try to hear the cues on the music to do certain tricks.
What kind of music is best to do freestyle football with?
Ooh, I have a number "Larger Than Life" from Armin van Buuren. That's just a number. It has certain cues, and my freestyle matches really good with it. It's a little up tempo, but also happy vibes. So yeah, that's my favorite song to work with.
And I mean, talking about Formula One, which is obviously massive and really,
Yeah,
really, really big, is there any sort of show or thing you would love to perform at
I
if you
would
could
love.
dream?
I think one of my biggest goals or dreams is to be like in a big stadium, maybe Champions League, World Cup. Unfortunately, it's so far away, but to be on it in the middle and to perform a show, I think like right in the middle of the stadium is a dream of a big
I
tournament.
I think this is totally feasible and probably
I hope
also
so.
realistic at some point.
I hope
um,
so. Yeah.
I was also reading up on kind of the history of freestyle football. I wonder maybe you can help me out here that Ronaldinho was one of the football players who's like very good at freestyle football. Is he like known, or are there any football players that are kind of, recognized in the freestyle community?
I think a lot of people admire Ronaldinho, like me as well. Like when you see him, he's so smooth with all the tricks, and that's what you want with freestyle. You want your tricks to look smooth, and because a lot of freestylers played football before, so they have seen Ronaldinho. So he's definitely an icon for the sport, at least for me.
So I guess you would love to do a freestyle match with him if you could
Oh
do
my god,
or battle.
that's a dream. Yeah, I know some other freestylers did a show with him or when he was watching or he met him. And that's I think one of my biggest dreams. I'm not sure if it's ever gonna happen. Or I love Ronaldo. He's like he makes tricks look smooth as well. So hopefully you never know, like maybe dreams come true. Will be able to meet him one day.
I mean, stay tuned. I look forward to seeing this happen, and I'm sure. I mean, you can pull up some tricks and make them sweat.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. Hopefully, like I became world champion without like I was kind of afraid to dream it, so hopefully that will happen too.
One thing I also wanted to ask you is there's something you mention on your website, which is your mission is to get as many children as possible to smile, which I thought was very, very cute and also a nice thing, a nice mission to kind of have and carry around. Tell me more about what you mean by that.
I just love to inspire kids and get them out. This freestyle, everyone can learn tricks, and some kids think they're not capable of doing a trick or playing football. But when they attend a freestyle football workshop, like there is 100% guarantee they learn tricks, and it just makes kids happy and people smile if they learn something new and if they can do something really cool or something they thought they would not be able to do. And I just love seeing kids smile. It makes me happy. It gives me so much energy. I can teach kids for hours and still not be tired.
So, would you say it's easier to teach kids than adults?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Even adults like are surprised and uh are happy when they learn a trick, but sometimes after 10 minutes they are tired and they just want to sit and watch. But kids can keep going for hours and hours. So when I do like a kids party, for example, they ask me back for another kids party to learn more tricks, which that's yeah, why I do this, like this work.
Honestly, I wish I had known you or someone like you when I was younger, because I feel like it's like such a cool activity to have on your birthday, or such a cool company event. Just have
Yeah.
someone over. Everyone is, I guess, what I get the sense of, like, going through your Instagram feed and what you're telling me, that this is like a very positive environment to be in, very encouraging, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone supports each other, like on the tournaments during the meetings, but also online, like leaving nice comments on your videos. Um, Basically, every freestyler is really, really positive. So that's why I love freestyle and football. It was also mostly about the negative side, which you have to improve, and freestyle is more basically how I experience it, really positive.
So if anyone listening wanted to start out or try freestyle, what are kind of like the most basic things you would tell that person? What do they need and how should they start out?
Just grab a ball first and see whatever you can do with a ball. You don't need to be able to juggle um to be able to freestyle. There are so many tricks you can do without even juggling. And just search online for easy tutorials, like beginner freestyle tutorials. And don't hesitate to reach out to a freestyler from your country or someone who's living nearby, because they're probably willing to train and teach you some tricks and meet up, because that's how I started. Like, with guys who were 10 years older in a garage in a random city. And my level was super low, but we trained together. And yeah, it was such a nice experience.
Now, thought provoking, because everyone is always talking about the Olympics and how you should
Mm.
add new sports. Do you think freestyle football should be like an Olympic sport or being put on a different international competition level?
I think no, because it's also really hard to judge freestyle, because there it, the fact that there are no rules makes freestyle really fun to do and really fun to practice. And I think if it becomes an Olympic sport, there are a lot of rules for the battles, for training, maybe for the judges, and that completely changes the vibe of the sport. So I think it's just better to keep it this way. And of course, the sports needs to grow. Like, more people need to attend the tournaments, and uh, tournaments need to be like online and maybe on TV. But I think an organization like the Olympics will kind of destroy the whole sport.
Yeah, I mean, fair. And I think that it's just interesting to see also how sports is changing in the dynamics, and also what we like about different sports.
Yeah, of course, you want the sport to grow uh, w- and to work with like big brands and big tournaments. But for this sport, I think um it will not help the sports, like, for the way it is. It's really free, and same with breakdance. There just the rules. The fact that there are no rules makes it fun. And if you work with the Olympics or any other big event, it makes it much harder to enjoy, I think.
One more question I had for you. Is there any particular trick that is like Champions League level that you want to still be able to perform?
Ooh, right. At this moment, I'm doing a lot of handstands, and then in a handstand, I have the ball on the sole of my foot, and now juggling in a handstand with the ball on my foot. But I hope I can show that during a competition. Sometimes I can do one or two juggles in a battle, but that's just like one moment. You cannot like do it again because you have 30 seconds. So I hope I will be able to show off some maybe 10 juggles in a handstand in a battle. That's when I achieve that, then I'm done. Like, that's my biggest goal for the battles right now.
I love it. I feel like we've touched upon three major goals here:
Yeah,
where to perform, with who to perform, and what to perform. And
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
sure
Uh-huh.
uh, all of it might be possible. Now, is there anything about your sport that you're doing that you think people should know that isn't really talked about?
Ooh, I think the freestyle community. Some people who are really good, it seems like you cannot reach them. Like they are too good or too far away. And I think in freestyle, even the world champions or the big athletes are really open and willing to train with everyone, and it's really a community. So I think if a young guy, for example, or a young girl wants to start but they don't know where to start, just reach out to one of the freestylers, and I'm pretty sure they're willing to help you or willing to meet or train. um so yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I think yeah, that's it.
And I'm sure that also goes to you or about you, that if people see your videos, that they can just shoot you a message and
Oh,
maybe,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
get
love
some.
I love to help everyone. Like it makes me smile when I can help someone, and especially when there are more girls who start freestyle. I love to see that.
Well, Jasmijn, thanks so much for this chat and this interview and for your insights into your world of freestyle football. And we all are very much looking forward to seeing and continuing your journey.
Thank you so much.